stopping us. Fly without boarding pass. Couldn't catch me, I'll be moving fast. Call me a shooting star. Let 'em know who you are. Flying up in a bar. Wish on a star. Time to show 'em who's in charge. Call me a shooting star. Didn't even get to cross.
Hello and welcome to the Huddle Podcast. I am the El Presidente of the Pinfall Productions. My name is Josh Haney, and I am brought here with two of the best hosts in the world, my brothers. First, Mr. William H.D. Morgan. And yes, I screwed that intro up.
How you doing, man? Good to be here tonight.
How you doing tonight, Will?
Doing good, man. Can't complain. It's great to be here, man.
I didn't catch any football yesterday. Did your Saints win?
We're bye week.
Bye week.
Mm-hmm. Bye week. Mm-hmm.
And then we bring on, I surprised him. Boom! Then we bring on our host, our backup host, but he is filling the position very, very well for Mr. Brandon Randall.
Real men.
Mr. Tommy, how you doing tonight, sir?
I'm doing pretty good, man. How are y'all?
Doing pretty good, doing good. Chiefs pulled it off yesterday.
Yeah, barely. But
It was a different way of seeing them win. Great.
yeah, it was a sloppy game. It was wet. It was dewy out there, so it was definitely sloppy.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
So we're going to dive right into it today, boys. What's the first game on the block?
Houston at Tennessee.
Oh, God. Why does this got to be first?
Oh, man. I hate to say it. I know Josh don't want to hear this, but Derrick Henry took them boys to school. 212 rushing yards. Ryan Tannehill threw for 364. Yeah, Will Fuller, 123 receiving yards. Titans get it done 42-36 in overtime. They almost had them.
Well, the thing I've been hearing all about this game is, and it's split too. You hear Cannell shouldn't have went for that 2-point. Oh, but it was a good thing that he went for it. I did not see the game, so I can't be a fair judge. But truly, on this one right here, I got to go with Cornell. I think he made the right decision. It was a little bit risky. He's just coming into that spot. He needed to take a chance or two. I don't think that at this point, with our record, you're going to hurt much. So take the chances. Get the wins if you can get them. It's only his second game as head coach. Yes, it's another loss, but he's interim. Like this season, it's already spiraling down the bowl. It's not going to be our season, but we can try and get something working that'll work good for next season when they bring in the true head coach. So, and on that note, I still got to go with my AFC South boys, and my grandfather is a giant Titans fan. They look good. They look good, and I personally, I love seeing their quarterback every game just shove it in Jacksonville's face. Oh, you said I was no good? You said I was no good? Bob. And then, Bob, no, I'm going to hand it off to my truck, and he's going to plow through you.
And that's about what Derrick Henry does. He's a man-child, man. I swear, dude. That dude is a beast. He's always in beast mode. Next up, you had the Cincinnati Bengals at the Indianapolis Colts. Indiana 31, Cincinnati 27. Phillip Rivers, 371 passing yards. You had Jonathan Taylor with 60 rushings and T. Higgs with 125 receiving. I seen like the tail end of this game, like when Phillip Rivers threw the touchdown pass over in the corner of the end zone.
Is he QBing for Indy now?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He still got a little bit left in him.
I always liked Rivers. I always thought he was a really good quarterback. He was never going to do anything with the Chargers, unfortunately.
They never really got him no help. I mean, it was always.
It's the
once
same
they
thing.
lost once they lost like Thomason and them, that was it. He never really got nobody after that. There was only so much he could do with what he had.
It's the same thing we were saying the other day with that. Who was the QB? Was it Stafford? Yeah, it was Matthew Stafford in Detroit last week.
Mm-hmm.
He's the same thing. Like, they're probably elite level quarterbacks that just their teams never could get them the help they need, and they go one spot and another spot would be an issue. Like, it's the team that got no get right.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, there are certain teams in this league that just have no get right. The Bengals could be on that list. The Browns tend to be on that list a lot.
If I'm not mistaken, don't Cincinnati only have one win this year?
I think so.
I think you're right.
Yeah, they're like 1-5 or something like that.
And they're not Atlanta.
No, speaking of Atlanta, they're next. They get the win.
What? Atlanta got a win?
40-23 over the Vikings. Matt Ryan for 371 yards.
Kirk Cousins was terrible in that game.
He was.
He was terrible. He threw like 3 picks. And it's like he was just pathetic. And look, Justin Jefferson, he still had a great game despite Kirk Cousins. But Kirk Cousins is terrible. He's getting all that money. He is terrible.
There's one real big negative to take away from this win for Atlanta. Russian leaders was Todd Gurley with 47.
Wow.
Okay. I said it once. I'll say it again. I'm out of the Todd Gurley business.
Well, this is the thing about Atlanta. They've always been a very much a throw team. They are a throw first offense. Always have been. Matt Ryan has a cannon. So, but this is what shocks me about that game. This is a team that had not won a game until right now, but yet they blew this team out. Have you ever noticed? This is Atlanta's MO. They will lose, but every loss is always a high-scoring game. It's usually close, and every win is a blowout win.
Yeah.
I question Minnesota's game plan because when Minnesota's able to run the football and Kirk Cousins can work off that play action, got to be a little bit more feasible for him to be successful. When you're just counting on him just dropping back, just throwing it, no, that doesn't work. He was 2 of those interceptions. I don't understand who the heck he was throwing the football to.
Right.
I mean, terrible, man. Andy Madison, I thought he was going to have a big game in this game. Nope. He didn't do anything at all for Minnesota. When they're able to run the ball, work off play action, keep that defense off the field, that is when they're successful. But when they don't do anything off that play action and depend on Kirk Cousins to be your main focal point of offense, he's failed each and every time. Golly, that man is terrible.
We've been saying it almost every show too. Julio Jones, get out of Atlanta.
Yeah.
Dude. Get out of there.
And did you see the punk that he played on his team and the fans this week? At the end of the game, he limped off, was helped by a trainer being limped off, and then all of a sudden another trainer runs up and he stands up and starts walking and laughing. And I was just like, oh, you just like stabbed the heart of every fan. What's our next game?
Hashtag free Julio.
Hashtag free Julio.
Hashtag free Julio.
Next game up.
Before we move on, then, where would you want to see him go?
New England.
God, no.
New England, because they need a receiver.
I don't care what they need. I want them to be bad.
I know no one here likes New England. God knows me. I don't like them either. But when you look at a receiver needy team, there's no team that needs a receiver as bad as the New England Patriots.
There's got to be somebody. Anybody but New England.
Houston could use a who.
They could use them, but even with them, you still got Fuller, you still got Cooks.
The issue with Fuller, Cooks, and Stills now is you don't have Hopkins to pull coverage for them to get open. So you need another Julio to step in to pull coverage. Now, even if he's not getting all the catches. One of our biggest issues now is Deshaun is used to having open guys because Hopkins pulled coverage.
Right, and what you're saying is true. But all I'm saying is this: at least those three are servable receivers. Look at what they have in New England. You got Julian Edelman and nothing else.
Edelman is on his last legs. He's done.
So, I'm just saying. No one here likes the Patriots, but at the same point, they ain't got a receiver to think of. They get me, you, and Tommy can do better than what New England got right now.
Man, I can't even run.
Oh my goodness, I'm a big dude. I can be your tight end. We can get Tommy to play outside, and we got Josh. You can play the slot. I'm telling you, we better than what they got right now.
The three of us, I don't think could even make it downfield.
On that note, let's take a commercial break.
So bad outside the bar, heading out as far away I can. Heart is pounding, got the damn out of hand. Doing 90 through the city night. Nothing's ever gonna be alright. Life will never be what it was. Hands are shaking, 'cause now my future is crashing down on me. They try to kill me when I fought back. Break the scotch with a baseball bat. The justice will never make this right. I need to run and stay out of sight. And no choice, it was me or them. Now for a lifetime I'm condemned. I could forget my old set way of life. I go to prison or die.
That's Total Nonstop Podcast. You can catch it every Thursday with me and the old moose man, Gene Emerson. We cover whatever show we put up a poll, whichever show gets voted. I have not put up a poll yet. I'll have one up tomorrow for everybody to decide what they want to cover this week. So,
real quick before we move on, I just want to say, be sure to check out Paradigm Shift tomorrow night. We're doing another wrestler spotlight, and we're doing our first non-wrestler. It's going to be an awesome show because we have an awesome topic.
Like Brock Lesnar. And I am here tonight as the representative for Brock Lesnar.
I have never been not mad about someone's face being crudely posted over mine. Paul Heyman's one of my heroes, so I ain't even mad about that.
Dude, I'm so excited to talk about this. Like, probably one of the most iconic, polarizing, douchiest people in the business. Like, I've heard so many stories about how
so many good stories and so many bad stories. I mean, there's so many.
He has some amazing stories, but the stories you hear people tell about him, he's such a fucking snake. But we will talk about that tomorrow night on Paradigm Shift, 9 Central, 10 Eastern. Check us out on Pinfall Productions.
With a special guest host.
Promo wrestling star Chris Champion will be joining us.
Yes, he will. Next up, we were talking about New England. They took on Denver. Denver 18, New England 12. Denver gets the win over New England Patriots. Drew Lock, 189 yards. Philip Lindsay had 101 rushing.
Is Cam back yet?
Need I say two things in this game? A, no practice time for the Patriots that they were going through the COVID stuff, and they showed it. And B, again, they can't throw the ball down the field. At least not on a consistent basis, they can't. They need receiving help bad. And that's the thing that makes me upset with New England, because of the fact you had Tom Brady, everybody considers him the GOAT. Things was just going to magically work out. No, you have to give people weapons. And that's what Cam is needing right now. And like Tom Brady's telling everybody, look here, dog, I got the weapons I need. You see, I'm winning. And Cam up there struggling. Get the man some weapons.
You're late, Mr. Randall. We already talked about it, already covered it.
Yep.
Randall, what's up, man?
Slacker.
See, that's what we get.
Real men of genius.
We got to fix that damn picture now. I don't mind Paul Heyman being cruelly posted over my face, but I ain't going to have Brandon cruelly posted over mine. Also, to mention in that game, you had Tim Patrick, who had 101 receiving yards also.
Mm-hmm.
Next up, you had the Washington, the football team Washington.
Still hate that name.
At the New York Jets. New York Jets get it done, 20-19.
The Jets or the Giants?
Yeah, I mean the Giants. I don't know why the hell I said the Jets. I'm sorry.
Was that the Giants' first win?
I think so. I don't think they won this year. I could be
right.
wrong.
It was before this. It was the Giants, Jets, and Atlanta. Because I thought it was funny that both New York teams were winless.
Allen had 280 passing yards in this game. That rushing leaders was Daniel Jones with 74. What is with this shitty rushing in the NFL this year?
It's because they didn't have offseason. I guarantee you. Running back is the one of the positions that needs the most off-season training to really get a playbook down and the conditioning, and it's you can see it all over, but the run game is definitely struggling.
Plus, you got Freeman for the Giants, who's just getting there. This is like his second or third week there, trying to figure things out, get things down. You probably won't see him really do anything of significance to maybe next week or the week after.
Tommy's got no comment on that one, sir.
None.
I could go back and forth with him all night, but we got shit to do. Some of us have a podcast to do, Mr. Randall.
Yes.
If you're going to come hang out in the comments, you could come hang out on the show.
Yeah, buddy. Next up, you had the Baltimore Ravens at Philadelphia Eagles. Baltimore gets it done, 30-28. Actually, Carson Wentz, it was a pass leader in this, 213 yards. Rushing leaders was Miles Sanders with 118.
That Philadelphia unit is a mash unit. You just brought up Miles Sanders. He's out again for the second time.
Is he?
You won't see him for another 1 to 2 weeks. It's a mash unit. I think it's Greg Ward, past Greg Ward and Tommy Fulgham. There's no receivers. Zach Ertz, he's hurt too. You won't see him for another week or two.
Why did Baltimore struggle so much in this game? Because I didn't see this one.
Their defense, Philly came up and tried to make a late comeback to win it, but they failed. But Carson Wentz, he's not. Shannon Sharp calls him walking to him Wentz. Just lip it to him Wentz now.
Man, I just don't understand because that one season, his rookie season, he looked so good. And ever since then, he's been not able to even get close.
But understand this too. No Deshaun Jackson, no Alshon Jeffrey. Ertz is hurt. Goddard's hurt. All his weapons are pretty much gone. So, he's doing what he can do with what he has, but at the same point, you can only do so much with guys off the street.
Yeah.
And Greg was a former quarterback.
True. Next up, you had the Browns taking on the Steelers. Heartbreaking loss for the Browns, 38-7. Ben Roethlisberger had 162 yards. This is a heartbreaker for Cleveland after as good as Cleveland's been doing this year. I know Edward Lindsey is probably pretty tore. I seen where he posted the other day and said, "I'm a Browns fan no matter what."
This goes to show no matter what defense you play against, because Pittsburgh is a very good defense. Don't let anybody fool you and tell you they're not a very good defense. You don't get away from what you do best, and that's running the football. You want to run the football as much as you can to make things easier for Baker Mayfield. And Baker Mayfield had a bad game. He had a bad game, and you can't get away from running the football. You just can't. But you need to keep that defense off the field. You need to keep that Pittsburgh defense honest. And for some reason, they just got away from running. I don't know if it's because they got down. I don't know, but you don't give up.
Well, and it's what's worked for them. You look at that Dallas game a couple of weeks ago, and they just plowed it through. And I knew that they didn't do something right because Hicks did not have the game he was been having in my family.
Even if you don't get the desired result from that run game, you still do it because you have to keep that defense as honest as possible. And they got some playmakers on that defense. TJ Watt, Micah Fitzpatrick, they got some playmakers.
Well,
man.
The other thing I will say here is if there's one thing that history has shown is you do not talk shit to Big Ben.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Big Ben takes shit talking to heart, man, and he will come out and he will trounce you. And he did. I saw some Cleveland players talking shit. All the Cleveland fans were talking shit. And so Big Ben went out there and does what Big Ben does, and he shut him up.
Yeah, that's true.
And then it makes it so bad. You had a player who hasn't done anything all year in James Washington. All of a sudden, he shows up on the stat sheet because a lot of that stuff was going directly to him. A lot of that trash talk was going directly to him, and he shows up and plays well. James Conner's playing well too. Conner's showing when he's healthy, he can get the job done.
Yeah, that's very true. We'll be right back. That's the Gridiron Top 25. You can catch it every morning at 8 p.m. Central Time with me and the newest member of Pinfall Productions, Justin Hicks, where we go over the Saturday games until our real man of genius comes back and he can.
Real men of genius.
Too many great minds here, Tommy. Too many.
Yeah, too. We're both trying to click it at the same time. Let's move it along. Next up, you have the Chicago Bears taking on the Carolina Panthers. Chicago gets the win. Teddy Bridgewater had 216 yards passing. Chicago's looking pretty good this year.
Nick Foles is up in that offense, move along. Their defense seems to be surging again. They held Teddy Bridgewater under constant pressure. They're just doing a really good job. And they're not the flashiest on offense. David Montgomery's not the flashiest running back, but he does keep the chains moving when he gets the football. That's another team that also really needs another receiver to go on the other side.
Yeah, there you go. Don't send him to there you go, Julio. Go to Carolina.
That'd be a good fit for Julio. That'd be a great fit.
If you put Julio on the Bears, Nick Foles is playing well. That run game would be energized. I wouldn't mind seeing that.
Both teams would be good for them.
Yeah.
The Bears. This is my thing. Philly's got to feel stupid. Like, you had Nick Foles did something that had never been done before in taking hold of a team, taking them undefeated to the Super Bowl. Yes, he didn't get it done. No, they did.
They won.
No, they won that year. And he took them all the way to the Super Bowl, coming off the bench.
And the year later, he came close to doing it again.
And the year later, he had another amazing season, which doesn't normally happen in the NFL. You look at KC, Mahomes is having a good season, but he's not having near the season he was having last year at this point. Carson Wentz comes out, has one good season. They pay him ridiculous amounts of money, and they say, bye-bye, Nick. And now Carson is bombing, and you got Nick over here doing what Nick does, taking teams and leading them to the ship.
I need to look to see how many years Carson had left the deal, if any. Because if he had 2 years left that deal when he signed that extension, should have kept Nick Foles. Should have kept Nick Foles.
Yeah,
You got Jalen Hurts behind him, but Jalen Hurts isn't ready yet.
No.
You know what they need to do? Well, they need to trade Jalen Hurts to North Carolina for P.J. Walker and let him play back up.
The truth. The truth. That's why I call him P.J. the Truth. The XFL, baby. I wouldn't mind seeing that.
Dude, I just want him to play one game this season. That's all I want. Give me one game. But moving along, he's third string in North Carolina. It's not gonna happen.
He might get week 17.
Next up, you had Detroit at Jacksonville. Detroit 34, Jacksonville 16.
Wow.
Womp, womp, womp. Sorry, Jacksonville.
Your boy Swift just came out of nowhere. That was his coming out party.
Yep. 116 rushing yards he had.
Coming out party.
Yep.
We'll see.
Next up, you have the New York now I'm trying to call them the damn Giants. Next up, you have the Jets at Miami. Fitzpatrick had 191 passing yards, but Tula ends up coming in. It has been named, of course, that Tula is going to get the starting job now at Miami. We all know that. I think Miami gets the win here, 24-0. Will has made it very clear he don't like this decision that Tula's getting.
Okay, go ahead, Will. I've heard your.
I get it. He is the quarterback of the future. I understand that, but you still have a season. And then not only that, look at what you're bringing him into. You got to go up against the Rams next week, if memory serves correct. You want him to go against Aaron Donald and the crew? Oh, no.
I saw a lot of people saying that this was cold to Fitzpatrick, that he's been playing really well and everything. And he has, and I'm a Fitzpatrick fan. I think the man has done an amazing job at being able to come into a team and get them through a season while they groom a quarterback.
Yep.
He's the only QB I can ever think of who's been able to make a career out of that. And he guarantees you almost always a winning season. Not a big winning season, but he's usually 8-7, 9-6, something like that. But I would not be surprised if Fitzpatrick is the reason that Tua is starting. Is because I've been reading a lot of articles about how Fitzpatrick has been mentoring. You saw clips of in the game this week. Even after they pulled Fitzpatrick and put Tua in, every time Tua went to the sideline, he did not go to the quarterback coach. He went to Fitzpatrick. He asked him questions. They were going over game film every time he was on the sideline. I'm betting Fitzpatrick saw this game. He saw that he did well. He saw that he's prepared, and he's like, okay, let's put him in next week because that is a good test team. That is a good team to test a quarterback that you're ready to put a team on for years to come. Because if he chokes, he's not ready. If he goes out there and has a good game and loses, then you can work with that. If he goes out there and trumps them,
all I'm saying is we're going into week 7. If this is, and I know I'm playing apples and oranges, but if you're bringing in a rookie, do it week 8 and do it against somebody that doesn't have an Aaron Donald on that team. Because again, people think Aaron Donald's washed. He is not washed. He's still a very good football player. I don't know if I want a rookie to go against that. I just don't know. Week 8, I get it, but I'll go with Fitzpatrick one more week. Try to get that one against the Rams. Try to stay relevant in your division, and then put your boy in.
I don't know.
They're 3-3 right now.
Next up, you had the Packers at Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay gets it done, 38-10. Rodgers threw a pick. I know to one of my Auburn boys, Carlos Rogers. I say not Carlos Rogers. Shit, I don't know why the hell I say Carlos Rogers. My mind's not here tonight, guys. Chris Davison, if I'm not mistaken, who is the one that intercepted it from Auburn. Tom Brady had 166 yards. What happened here with Green Bay? Why did they struggle so hard with Tampa Bay?
It has nothing to do with Tampa Bay. It has everything to do with Aaron Rodgers when he plays Tom Brady. For some reason, every freaking time Tom gets into Brady's head or into Aaron's head, and well, it's not some reason. We all know the reason. It's because they came in together. They've always been compared to each other. They will probably go down as number 1 and number 2 of some of the greatest quarterbacks to ever play the game. But also in the fact that Aaron knows that Tom has always overshadowed him. So every time, playoffs, regular season, Tom gets in Aaron's head, and we get these type of games. It has nothing to do with Tampa Bay. It has everything to do with Brady.
Another thing, too, that sort of kind of bothered me, every time he threw an interception, it gave Tampa a short field. And that's a lot to ask for your defense to hold on a short field like that. Tom Brady's one of the best at it, and they do have weapons on that team. And when you give them a short field, and the offensive line, Bruce Arians is, they're gonna score. And that's a lot to ask that Green Bay defense. That Green Bay defense ain't never been good. Never, ever. They ain't been good since what? When they won with Favre? No. That last Aaron Rodgers team was the last time he had that went to the Super Bowl and won it. Was the last time he had a decent defense. And I think that really hurt them because when you give up a short field, your defense has to hold, at least hold them to a field goal, and they couldn't do it.
Speaking of that game, Osco, Mr. Rob Karowski had 78 receiving yards, which is a shocker because he did much all year. Next up, you had the Los Angeles Rams at San Francisco 49ers. San Francisco gets the win, 24-16. Or is that an 8? Nope, that's a 6. Okay, 24-16. It kind of blurred together there for a second on me. I watched this Los Angeles game. It was a decent game. San Francisco did not look themselves in this game at all. I mean, they looked real rough. The offense looked okay, but their defense definitely was not clicking for some reason at all. You had Jimmy threw for 268 yards in this.
You had Mostert went out. Mostert got almost 100 yards, and then he got hurt. Then he went out. Deebo Samuel is back. He's carrying a lot of the offensive load from the receivers. And again, I've never been a fan of Jimmy G. Never, ever. If they can't run the ball or if they can't get healthy on defense, 49ers going to struggle.
Yeah, they're not looking like the team of last year. I can tell you that. I don't know how deep they'll end up going into the playoffs if they go very deep at all. So, let's see here. Go ahead, boss. Take a commercial break.
Yeah, I was about to say we're going to take another break and we'll be right back. Once again, that is the paradigm shift, and you can join us on Wednesdays on Pinball Productions, 9 Central, 10 Eastern. And again, please join us tomorrow with a very special episode, Wrestler Spotlight on
Like Brock Lesnar. And I am here tonight as the representative for
Mr. Paul E. Dangerously. It will be an amazing episode. Most of us are giant fans of his and respect everything he's done for the business, even though he's a dick. But come on. The good and the bad.
Oh my God! Next up, we had the Kansas City Chiefs at the Buffalo Bills. Everybody knew Buffalo's been pretty impressive all year. They come in swinging and put KC in a dogfight a little bit. It was wet. It was sloppy. Patrick Mahomes threw for 225 yards. Also, a little side news note: Patrick Mahomes breaks Dan Marino's fastest player to ever throw for 90.
Did we lose him?
In this game. But Kansas City gets the job done, 26-17.
They won with running the football, which is something you really don't see with the Andy Reid team. CEH, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, great game. You saw Darrell Williams come off the bench and get a touchdown. I just thought Buffalo still hasn't recovered from that loss against the Titans. Josh Allen was just came up just a little bit short of some throws that could have made a difference. But great win by KC.
I know I've seen some. He would end up hitting them like he wouldn't hit him on the back shoulder where he needed to hit him. He was hitting them on the other side, and there was just some balls that it was very catchable. Maybe he just had just a little too much on him, or he was a little off, or he got pressured. Especially when he got pressured, he was definitely off target. At Kansas City, but like you said, Clyde had a kick-ass game. He had 161 rushing yards. Next week, Bell should be on the team. Me and another buddy was talking about it. We could kind of see maybe Bell could actually, just his presence on the field alone could throw defenses off. You could do all kinds of stuff with him if you wanted to put him in a jet sweep or some kind of screen pass. You got him, plus you got Hill, who's speed. That's nothing but speed. That's two guys with speed like crazy. You could do all kinds of shit.
Speed that will pull coverage like a motherfucker.
And that's something you can't teach a speed. And Le'Veon is so versatile. You can put him out as a receiver in some formations.
If you could just go in there and shut his mouth and play the game.
Yeah. And that's what I think he'll do, because now he has another chance at winning a ring versus
good chance
who have no chance. So I think he's going to be his best self and on his best behavior, because if you get that reputation of being a malcontent, another team's not going to pick you up.
I don't think Mahomes would put up with it.
Nope.
He won't. And I guarantee you that man's got say, because they got a 10-year contract.
I guarantee when they thought about signing, they went to him first. What do you think about bringing Bell in? And he probably said, "Tell him to keep his damn mouth shut." Well, he said, I'm pretty sure that's probably how that conversation went. We're not going to listen to it. Give him 1 year. Give him 1 year. That's if he can act right, we'll give him another one.
He getting the same deals that Sammy Watkins get. 1 year deal, X amount of money. If you're on your best behavior, we'll bring you back.
Maybe he'll behave. Like y'all saying, he's at a team now that's got a winning mentality. He's not at a struggling Jets team where no one gives a shit. They're just a bunch of guys there getting their paychecks, basically.
We didn't even mention it. The Jets are now the only winless team in the NFL.
Yeah, well, they are the Jets.
Terrible. Gage is terrible. See, you up here talking about Bill O'Brien gone. Adam Gage should be next.
Well, I got my wish. I made that happen.
Adam Gage should be next. That man, he's a terrible coach.
Next up, you had the Arizona Cardinals, and them, as you see, I got right here. Well, look, they're in the corner. Them boys from Dallas.
Boy,
God, this was an ugly game for Dallas.
Cowboys.
Andy Dalton still had 266 passing yards, but he did have some interceptions, and he did have a little bit of a rough game. But I mean, let's be real. He's just now starting with them. So
I was going to say he looked nervous.
You can say it's safe to say he was rusty. You can safe to say.
He hasn't played in almost a year. Like it's different coming out of practice. Like you couldn't expect them to come out there and just destroy. Now that I'd expect them to get
out of his defense, Ezekiel Elliott turned the ball over like 2 or 3 times. Was it twice?
Was Ezekiel having butterfingers?
Yep, he fumbled the ball a couple of times, so that wasn't all on Andy. So, and plus, Kyle Murray was on fire in that game. He looked really, really good. So, he definitely helped my fantasy. I can tell you that.
And the problem with the Cowboys is still the same. That defense sucks. It's terrible.
They burned them deep so many times.
They don't have a potent offense to take up the slack for it, then there's nothing they can do about it. Like that's the thing about Dak is he can keep them in the game with a crappy defense.
That long pass play that Murray did to Christian Kirk, that was a thing of beauty, but it never should have happened. It never should have happened if your defense was any decent. And I hate to say it because I don't like to call for people to lose their job, but that DC got to go.
I hear you. Well, guys, it's time for the power rankings.
I swear to God, if New England is on this power ranking, I quit.
At number 10, the New England Patriots. They dropped down one spot from last week at number 9. He said the New England Patriots. That's why I started giggling to myself.
I knew it too.
Number 9 is the San Francisco 49ers, dropping all the way down from number 6. Which stats sounds about right.
Yeah.
This one I'm just not happy about. You got the Tennessee Titans, who are dead even, still at number 8.
I don't understand that. Like, I realized it was a close game.
Wait a minute. Hold on 1 second, guys. I think I might be in the wrong week here. This don't look right.
Real quick, while he's looking at that, we'll do... So this week in football history, I found 2 things as I was looking. In the NFL history, Clint Daniels of the Oakland Raiders ran for 200 yards and 2 touchdowns in a 49-26 victory over New York Jets. The more impressive thing, 1989, the Houston Cougars ran up 1,021 yards against Southern Methodist University. The final score was 95-21. Go Cougs.
Say that again.
Go Cougs. Get your mind out of the gutter, sir.
Oh my good. Hey, I mean, yeah. Hold on, I'm about to pull it up here. That shit had me in week 2 for some reason. I got to looking at the reason I noticed it because I went over and looked and it said Titans were 2-0 and I was like, what?
Real quick.
Actually, well, I was gonna say while he's finishing that up, we'll go ahead and take our last commercial break, and then Will can come back and say what he's gonna say because it's about him.
And you can catch the Geek Gauntlet podcast right here on Pinfall Productions every Saturday night at 10 p.m. Eastern. Join me, Shaw, and Gene in the running of the gauntlet.
All right, now we're straightened out. So, number 10 was the New Orleans Saints at number 10.
Wow, we didn't play.
Yeah, they still put them in at number 10. I said even though they had that bye because they had those two back-to-backs. Number 9, you had the Los Angeles Rams, previous ranked at number 8. The Bills fall to number 8 after being at number 7, I guess because their loss wasn't so bad, so they didn't fall too far. Let's see. My computer is acting wonky. Why did it take me all the way back down there? All right, here we go. Number 7, Green Bay. Number 6, Tampa Bay. Number 5, the Seattle Seahawks. Number 4, Baltimore Ravens. How is Seattle undefeated and they're at number 5, and Baltimore's got a loss and they're at number 4?
Ooh.
Tennessee Titans 5-0 at number 3. Number 2, the Pittsburgh Steelers. They're moving on up. And number 1, of course, KC Nation.
You can make an argument. You can make an argument for the Steelers being the most complete team in the league.
Well,
offense, they have the defense, they have the special teams. We could make an argument for them to be the most complete team in the league. They have all 3 facets of it down. For all of KC's hype, yes, they have a good offense. Yes, the special team's good. The defense is suspect. Pittsburgh, you can make an argument that they're the most complete team right now. We'll see coming up as they play Tennessee.
I mean, this is one thing I noticed, and we've been talking about this a lot, is seeing like quarterbacks of old. Big Ben this week looked like Big Ben from a couple of years ago. Like, he looked good. He looked healthy. If he plays like that the rest of the season, Steelers are going to be a tough team to beat.
Might be a tough out. That might be the toughest out because they're playing really, really well right now.
Which, since we're through the power rankings, brings us to our new, or bring back an old segment and our last segment of the show.
You're the best around. Nothing's gonna ever keep you down.
The best around.
That's the song right there.
All right. So, who is everyone's pick for MVP this week?
Mine is T. Higgins.
Team?
T. Higgins.
What team?
Oh, the Cincinnati Bengals.
Okay.
He 8 for 125 for 126, and him being a rookie makes it even more special because rookie is the hardest position to get down as you're coming into the league. And he's still doing it with AJ Green being a factor. He's still doing it with Tyler Boyd being a factor. He pretty much put John Ross off the depth chart. So he's playing really, really well. That's my player for this week.
Tommy?
Clyde, running back at KC, put up 161 rushing yards. He had a killer game. I don't know if it's just the thought of Bell showing up woke his ass up some or what, but he was pounding heads in that game.
Like, I'm not losing my spot.
Bill looking around like the little, need the little meme with the guy looking around the tree corner, that's Bill. He's like, slip up, I'm gonna take your job. Don't slip up.
Ever since Damian Williams went out because of COVID, and I get it, I understand it, because COVID's nothing to play with. He took the opportunity and he ran with it. But he's a smaller dude and he struggles in pass protection. Le'Veon doesn't struggle in pass protection, so that's going to help a lot. Plus, it's going to help keep Clyde Edwards-Helaire healthy for the rest of the year too.
So this one's tough for me because I didn't get to watch a lot of football this week. But in listening to y'all talk, I think I've got to go. Much as this pains me, I truly think I got to go Brady. Like, he got and it hurts. It kills me in the heart. But I mean, he did what Brady does. He went in and he showed why he is one of the greatest to ever do it.
He's an asshole, man.
Oh, he's a dick and a cheater.
He likes deflated balls.
But it is that point in the show where we shamelessly plug ourselves and everything that we're doing here at Pinball Productions. We're going to start it off with Mr. Morgan.
As I said before, the Geek Gauntlet podcast will be right here on Pinfall Productions this Saturday at 10 p.m. Eastern. Also, I fixed a technical issue with my laptop, so we'll be back on GNN_gaming, playing something. I have no idea what I'm playing, but I'll be playing something. So definitely check me out, GNN_gaming. That's it.
Tommy?
Don't forget, Thursday, we have the Total Nonstop podcast coming on. And, of course, I'm going to pull this up just because I got to. If I can find it real quick. Nope, it's not in that one. Feels like something got moved.
I didn't mess with anything.
Brandon did it. I blame Brandon.
Real man.
Of course, you know, Thursday show's always me and the Moose Man. I'll have a poll up. I'll have a poll up later on tonight. We'll vote on to see what everybody wants to finish talking about, whether it be Raw, NXT, AEW, whatever the case may be. Also, don't forget, Saturday mornings, 8 a.m., me and Justin Hicks brings you all the college football information that you need to get your Saturday started before college football kicks off. I am officially ahead of Mr. Brandon in the picks. He slipped up this week with a bunch of losses and talk about them upsets like how.
Well, I know he probably picked North Carolina to beat my Florida State Seminoles. I know he did.
I picked them too.
They got everybody. They
did, man. They fooled everybody. I thought North Carolina might end up making a big run, but the way they looked against that in that game, that was ugly shit.
After looking that bad against Georgia Tech when the season started, they might be coming into their own.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. We'll have week of the game and our upset picks and everything. So, go ahead, Mr. Boss.
Well, like I said, you can catch Paradigm Shift here on Pinfall Productions and on our YouTube page and on Total Nonstop YouTube page. Also, be on the lookout. We have some new shows coming down the pipeline. A Sons of Anarchy rewatch and watch along is coming down very shortly. Hope to be launching that in the next couple of weeks. As well as I have some big news. So here very shortly, at least Paradigm Shift will be streaming in Generational Wrestling Society. We're very excited about this partnership with them. We also want to say thank you to WPG, the Sports Report, and everybody who lets us stream in their pages. We greatly appreciate it. And like I said, don't miss tomorrow.
Like Brock Lesnar. And I am here tonight as the representative.
When we will be talking about the one and only Paul Heyman. It is going to be an amazing show. I'm super excited about it. I love these spotlight shows. They're really a lot of fun. I've already got the fantasy question written down, which is freaking amazing.
Whoa, that means he actually really put some thought into this one.
I was like, boom!
He put some thought in this. Oh, Lord.
But
oh, my goodness.
We thank you guys for joining us tonight. We thank y'all for being a part of Pinfall Productions. Please like and follow us on Facebook. Like and follow, subscribe on YouTube. Go check us out on Anchor. Support the Building Fund on Anchor. And then also 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. And I think I heard too, you can review us on iHeartRadio. So review on iHeartRadio. And check us out wherever you can get your podcast. Thank y'all guys for joining, and y'all have an awesome night. We'll see y'all next week for week 7. It's coming down to it, guys. It's almost over.
Deuces. Bye.